What's up guys, it is nighttime here in Chiang Mai. I'm getting up really early to shoot sunrise tomorrow, and on that vlog I kind of want to walk you guys through the 10 biggest beginner photography mistakes and I guess how you can prepare for them. And the reason I'm starting this video tonight rather than tomorrow is because it all starts with preparation. The biggest mistake beginner photographers make, including myself when I started, and every now and then now, is forgetting things at home. And the best way to avoid that is the night before, packing up all of your things, making sure you have absolutely everything. The battery's charged, your filters, your tripod, your camera, your lenses, absolutely everything at the ready and sitting by the door, packed up so you can't forget it. Just after 5 in the morning and I'm heading to my location today, which is Wat Suan Doc, and I'm heading really early. It's an hour and a half until sunrise, and that's beginner photography mistake number 2 is a lot of people don't give themselves enough time. They leave way too late and they hope to rock up to sunrise or sunset right on time and get the best shots. Give yourself lots of time so you have time to location scout and you'll get better photos.
Breathing for you. That's all that I do.
I'm almost to the temple and I just realized I'm actually making one of the beginner photography mistakes myself this morning, in that I didn't location scout. And I think that actually a lot of pro photographers forget the location scout or get complacent and lazy with location scouting anyway. Just like if you were a bank robber. And I know bank robbery because back in the 1830s I used to be a bank robber in the Wild Wild West. And when you're a bank robber in the 1800s in the Wild Wild West, you don't just show up to banks and rob them, you need to case the joints first. You need to find out how you can rob them. And while photography isn't robbery, you do need to case the joints to find out if you can use a tripod. You have to find out if they're open. You have to find out where you can shoot and what the best angles are. And I have no idea for this location, kind of winging it. And sometimes that's kind of fun too. So I'm in the temple and this is absolutely unreal. This place is like a Lana burial site, I think. So it's home to some grave sites, and I've actually even read that it's home to some of the royal family. And I'm here all by myself. It's still dark and this is just absolutely special. Unreal. I'm gonna wander around, find some compositions and get my camera set up because this is just like so special here. Wow. The light's coming up and it's not perfectly ideal, a little bit backlight, but it's absolutely stunning. The sky's starting to glow orange back that way. There's some purple and blue hues off that way, and yeah, absolutely beautiful. And I have this place all to myself, except for a couple Buddhist monks who have just walked in right now. And that leads me to the next mistake. And the next mistake is shooting the wrong light. So many times when you're new at photography, you just rock up to locations in the middle of the day and expect to get great photos. You need to shoot sunrise and sunset. And I don't think it makes a difference whether you shoot portraits or people or animals or anything. The absolute best light you're gonna get is around sunrise and sunset. So wake up, get up early, have locations like this all to yourself.
Breathing for you. Breathing for you. All that I do.
One of the things I notice when I'm running my travel photography workshops is that beginner photographers don't move enough. You need to move. A lot of times beginners sit there and they shoot the shutter and then they shoot it again and then they shoot it again and they shoot the exact same composition over and over again, expecting different results, you really have to move around. I'm shooting a 30-second exposure over there right now, and when I'm shooting long exposures, I don't just sit there and wait for it to expose. I'm backing up, I'm searching around for different compositions, I'm making the best use of my time. So if you're a beginner photographer, remember, take the shot, get the shot, and then move. Sunrise just happened and the light wasn't spectacular, but it was really beautiful, and it's such a cool location. Maybe a little bit of a difficult location to photograph because everything's so big around you. It feels a little bit overwhelming, and it's a place I need to come back and photograph again. Absolutely loving this. I want to give you guys one more beginner mistake that you guys can avoid making in the future before I move on to tonight's shoot, which is going to be some street photography at a food market, I think. Basically, the mistake that so many beginners make is their images just aren't sharp enough. And having a good tripod is really important, but that's not everything. There's other things you need to do. You need to be shooting with an intervalometer so that you're not shaking your camera when you push the button, or you can just set a 2-second timer as well. That works. Lock up your mirror inside your camera, Google it if you don't know how to do that, and turn off your lens's image stabilization as well. Doing those things will ensure that you get images as sharp as a penguin in a tuxedo. I almost made a beginner photography mistake that I wasn't even going to include on this list. I almost went home too early. I guess that's one of the other lessons in today's episode. Don't go home too early. Shoot about a half an hour or an hour later than you're planning on shooting, because you never know what's going to happen a little bit later on. I decided I was going to go up into the temple and check things out on the inside, and I brought my camera gear, and then there was this awesome old monk walking back and forth in front of the gate, and I was able to capture a couple images that I absolutely love. Maybe actually my favorite images of the day. Now, this episode's not over. I still have more tips coming up later tonight. I think I'm gonna carry the episode on to tonight when we're gonna go for dinner at probably one of the night markets, and I'll do some street photography there and continue on with these beginner photography tips, I guess tonight.
Breathing for you. Breathing for you.
So we're off to the night bazaar, Nawarat Bridge, around that area here, and I'm gonna let you in on the next beginner photography mistake, and it's one I made probably a billion times, no exaggeration, and that's forgetting to set your camera back to 0 after every shoot and before every shoot. And basically what I mean by that is, this morning I was shooting long exposures, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and tonight I want to shoot really fast stuff. I want to get that street capture. And if I didn't set my camera back to 0, I might pull up to the night market, see something incredible, and shoot that first image and have a 30-second exposure launch off. And that can be a little bit of a problem, obviously, because you'll miss the shot, but a bigger problem would be the opposite. Let's say I go out and shoot this night market, everything's at ISO 3200, and then tomorrow I go shoot in Koh Samui, and I shoot the entire day at ISO 3200 or something like that, and I have grainy images. It can ruin an entire day. And there's nothing worse than getting home at the end of a day after thinking you shot brilliant images all day, only to realize there's a huge mistake. So let's go grab some dinner and hopefully grab a photo or two as well.
Breathing for you. Breathing for you. Breathing for you. Breathing for you.
So this is the night market I was trying to find. The name of it's behind me. I can't pronounce that. I can't pronounce anything. This market's touristy, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna bust out some food, and then I'm gonna bust out the camera gear and get a couple shots here. Got the food in me, got the gear out. Just want to give 1 or 2 more tips before I call this an episode. The next tip I want to give you guys is don't worry so much about shooting in manual. It's more important to get the shot, to get the photo, than it is to shoot it in manual. And there's so many people that kind of see it almost in a bit of a snobby way. Like, if you shoot manual, you're a professional photographer. News for you guys, most photographers actually shoot in aperture priority mode when they're on the run. I'm shooting aperture priority mode. I even have my ISO in auto right now because I want to make sure I get the shot. So avoid making that mistake. Don't worry about shooting in aperture priority mode or even shutter priority mode. Whatever gets you the shot. The last photography tip, the last beginner mistake that people make is they just don't get close enough. They're shy and they don't like to get up in people's faces. But one of the most important tips I ever learned in photography is if your images aren't good, and so far tonight here at the market my images haven't been good, you just need to get a little bit closer to the action. 16 to 35, getting right up into this grill, literally, take this picture. This night market was fun, maybe not as local as the places we've been going recently, but it was still fun. From a photography standpoint, it was borderline impossible, but I think I got that cool image with the guy on his grill at the end of the night, so it kind of made it. Now, I hope these photography tips have been helpful in today's episode. Back to vlog style tomorrow. We're heading to Koh Samui Island here, which should be some paradise. We'll shoot some photography out there, we'll have some adventures, and it should be a lot of fun. See you guys there. Peace.